Hey Hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at another endgame longsword set aside from the ones I covered in my original video. This one hits the highest EFR of any that I have seen so far. I got this set from my good friend Brill. You should definitely go check out his channel. I'll leave a link down in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the set. So first and foremost, to keep you guys from having to ask down in the comments, let's go ahead and talk about our Artian weapon rolls. The absolute highest damage will be going for 3 attack relics as well as 5 attack reinforcements. However, if you want a little bit extra sharpness, you could definitely toss in a single sharpness boost in the reinforcements for only a 5 raw loss. That's what I did in my overall set since I'm not competitively speedrunning. So the option is totally up to you. The element or status of your Artian weapon is also completely up to you. I'm a big fan of Blast on the longsword, but Paralysis and Poison are good, and if you'd like to, you could also choose to elementally match, but the relics and reinforcements will remain the same. In our weapon, we're going to slot in 5 levels of crit boost, and then I like a razor sharp / handicraft jewel. If you're going with no sharpness boost, you're definitely going to want to have this in there in order to maintain white, because if you drop to blue sharpness, it is a massive damage decrease. For the head, we're going with the Gore Helm Beta slotted with a chain jewel. Any of the empty level 1 slots that you see here in this build are completely up to your discretion. If you want to go for more levels of flinch free, if you want to go for shockproof, adapt, or something like Divine Blessing, that is totally your choice. The chest is the Arc Vulcan Beta with 2 Mighty Jewels. The arms are Guardian Arc Veld Beta with 3 Sheath Jewels for quicker EI sheaths. The Arc Vulcan Coil Beta, again, the decorations are totally up to you. Followed up by the Gore Greaves Beta with a final Mighty Jewel and 2 Sane Jewels. And finally, the Counter Charm 3 for 3 levels of Counter Strike. Now, Longsword has 2 separate attacks that have either Super or Hyper Armor, one being the Helmbreaker Stab. So you can Helmbreaker Stab an attack that would send you flying. You'll be able to tank through it and activate Counter Strike for plus 25 raw damage. Or the Spirit Release Slash also has some hyper armor, so you could definitely use that to also proc this. However, with our current optimal damage being just triangle and R2 spam while in red gauge, you're not going to be wanting to use the Spirit Release Slash nearly as much. So just use that Helmbreaker initial stab in order to activate Counter Strike. Or if you have a skill issue, like I tend to sometimes get a little cocky and miss my Foresight slashes, you can just get hit, and that will also activate Counter-Strike if the attack sends you flying. As far as the skills go, we have Crit Boost at level 5. Our normal hits deal 100% flat damage. If you crit, it's 125%, but with Crit Boost at level 5, all our critical hits will deal 140% damage. We then have Weakness Exploit at level 5 for 30% crit on weak spots. You also get an additional 20% critical chance when attacking a wound, but that tends not to last very long, so we're just really going for the 30% here, and as you'll see, we will not need the full 20% from the wounds anyway in order to hit very high crit. Razor Sharp for 50% more units of white sharpness. Counter Strike level 3 for plus 25 to our attack for 45 seconds after getting hit or hyper armoring through an attack that would send us flying. Max Might level 3 gives us 30% crit when our stamina is full. We then have Quick Sheath level 3, again for those faster EI sheaths so you can get those counters off to level up your gauge. Then Antivirus 3 works with the 2-piece Gore set bonus to help us clear the Frenzy faster and gives us plus 25% total crit when we do clear the Frenzy. We then have Handicraft, Evade Window, Coalescence, Burst, Recovery Speed, and Flinch Free all at level 1. Now, with all of our skills active and not including the 20% extra crit on wounds from Wex, we have 90% affinity. So if you throw on something like the Corrupted Mantle, you will have significantly over 100% crit. Not that that matters, but that is there. So that means roughly 90% of our attacks will be doing 40% more damage than non-critical hits. This set is definitely the hardest hitting longsword set that I've seen so far without going into things like heroics. And we also do get a little bit of lifesteal with the 2-piece of Arc Vulcan armor, giving us Haste and Recovery 1. Again, it is a very minuscule amount of health back, but it's just nice to have in the background, and the pieces are good enough that we would use them anyway, even if we didn't get the Haste and Recovery skill. So think of it as a cherry on top of a very, very strong set. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. We're going to keep it short and sweet. If you're looking for some other longsword builds, I'll be sure to leave my original video up in the top right now. If you did enjoy or are planning to try this set out yourself, be sure to drop a like down below to support the video entirely for free. If you're new to my channel, new to Monster Hunter, or if you like set videos like these and other things like guides, tutorials, and informative videos about Monster Hunter Wilds, then you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel. We're trying to reach 30,000 subs by the end of March, and I'd love to have you guys along for the ride. Subscribing is a totally free way to support the channel, and if you're finding the content isn't for you, you're always welcome to change your mind later. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all a good day and happy hunting.